You're not alone. I used to be the same. I used to feel upset or even frustrated how after so much listening, there was still so much I didn't understand when I was listening to fast English speakers, or I was watching a movie, and sometimes I was challenging myself watching it without subtitles. But look at kids when they're learning their first language. That's always your best way of looking at what learning is like. Do kids get upset about not understanding when adults are talking? Do they feel angry and then stop listening to other people just because they don't understand everything adults say? In today's video, I'll be sharing with you why wanting to understand everything is going to be one of the most detrimental and biggest mistakes you could make that will stop or slow down your progress in English. And at the end of the video, I'll be sharing with you one juicy tip that helped me build my fluency through listening that will also help you become better at understanding fast English speakers. Hey English learners, welcome to my channel. My name is Chubby. I'm an English fluency, learning and language anxiety coach. And here we are watching a channel for English learners who want to learn how to make more vocabulary memorable and speak fluently, confidently and comfortably in any conversation with the help of their listening skills and their spoken interaction. I always tell my students that the most important thing they need to do for them to become a fluent global English speaker is to listen to English, listen to loads of English. You can learn more about the process of listening and why listening to English and improving your listening should be your #1 job if you want to become a fluent speaker in this and in this video as well. My goal with my students inside my flagship fluency program, the Proficiency Fortress, is to help them understand how to learn as an adult instead of studying English as a 15-year-old high schooler. And listening is something that in school you practice as a test, but in real life, listening is a skill and it's your natural ability. You were born to be a good listener. Our prehistoric ancestors in the caves used to communicate using speaking and listening. Writing and reading are skills that we pick up later on in our life. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of English learners make is that they are impatient. They want to understand everything right after listening to something the first time, but we know how reviewing and repetition are important parts of learning. Or they are jumping into material that was designed for native speakers or for more advanced speakers. And we also know how important it is for you to find the right level that is just a tiny bit more challenging than what your current level is. Or what they also do is they switch on the subtitles because they find it too difficult and they never challenge themselves. They never build their fluency skills. Whenever you want to speak English naturally, you always need to find ways to learn English more naturally. And the best way to know how to do that is to look at kids. Do you see kids getting frustrated and angry about not understanding the conversations they are listening to? They are observing their parents or adults having conversations and they are learning as much as they can from it. So they use their own instinct, something I'm going to talk about on this channel in the future, guessing from context and learn from context for them to build up their listening and fluency skills. When you're listening to something in English, and this is exactly what we do in our exclusive listening workshop trainings inside my fluency program, the Proficiency Fortress, where people learn how to listen. They don't just test their listening skills all the time. What happens in your brain the first time you listen to a phrase is that you will hear a collection of sounds, and then your brain is going to try to make sense of it. And then if your brain listens to the same expression multiple times, your brain is extremely good at looking at patterns. That's exactly why you have exactly the same morning routine. You do exactly the same things in the morning. So your brain will keep listening to the same expressions because you expose yourself to spoken English and it will automate it for you, so you can always use it whenever you want to speak, the same way I'm using English and speaking to you on this channel. You've got to trust the process that your beautiful, amazingly intelligent brain is going to do the work when and only when you listen to spoken English and learn to overcome the frustration, the anger, the laziness, or any other feeling or emotion that comes up when it comes to you deciding to dedicate some time, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, to a little bit of listening to English. If you'd like to learn more about how to manage your feelings and how managing your feelings and emotions is going to be just as important as learning new phrases and expressions. For you to become a confident, fluent English speaker, check out this video where I'll be talking about this more. Attention to the English you're listening to is going to be key so you can build your fluency. And I'm going to share with you a personal story later on as well. If you'd like me to talk more about how attention is so important and how you can also increase your focus and attention in this world of Instagram and TikTok and everything else, let me know in the comments and I can create a huge video on this. And my personal experience with attention, or the lack of attention, was when I was living in Thailand for about 6 months at the beginning of the year. And the only two expressions I remember are Savati Krap and Kapun Krap. And the reason I remember these is because I didn't pay attention to any of the conversations people were having around me. I wasn't learning from books, wasn't reading, didn't learn how to read the Thai alphabet. So I didn't learn because I wasn't paying attention. Now compare this to me spending 3 years in Japan, where I became a fluent, confident Japanese speaker within less than 2 years of living there because I was paying attention. Now, if you want to boost your listening skills, here's one hot tip that you could use when you listen to English with attention. And this is something I used all the time when I was learning English while watching movies and videos. Before watching a YouTube video or a movie, or even part 10, 20 minutes of a movie, this side of this is material that you want to learn from. Because I see so many people just use watching videos as entertainment and they call it learning English, and then when they leave the movie they haven't learned anything from it. Setting your brain up for success before the movie is going to be crucial, because when you say that this is a movie I want to learn from, you will pay more attention. If there are a few expressions that you want to clarify, you could always pause, because again, you're not watching that movie for entertainment when you decided to learn from it. You could rewind, check that expression a few more times, you could rewind again and listen to it again, so you become that researcher who finds, let's say, different collocations, whether the noun takes, make, or put. You could also pay attention to the prepositions before the nouns or after the words as well that you could see people are using. Engaging with the movie that you're using for learning is going to be extremely useful for your brain, because when you make an effort, you spend time on one expression or one word, your brain will reward you with remembering it. And if you take notes of a few expressions that you choose to learn because you find them useful or relevant to your life, you're going to even increase that attention that you're paying to those expressions, which means you're almost guaranteed to remember them. The only thing you need to work on after this is to review and repeat the expressions, try to find ways to use them in conversations as well. If you need some tips on how you could use the power of repetition, one of the most powerful things that you can tap into and take advantage of, then check out this video where I'll be sharing with you some of the most effective ways for you to review vocabulary. Learning English for fluency is a process, and if 70% of what you do is listening to English and 30% is to practice speaking English, you will become a fluent speaker. Of course, my channel is all here to help you, support you with some other ways you can boost your fluency as well. And if you'd like to get some free trainings and get your questions answered as well inside my free community, make sure you join my Facebook group, Build Your Fluency, where you can ask some of your questions, discuss some of the problems that you have about English, so you can finally find a way that works for you and find ways to build your fluency. What the purpose of this group is. I can't wait to meet you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. As usual, I appreciate you and your time dedicating to it. If you have any questions, any troubles you might have about listening, something you've been trying but it just doesn't work no matter how you've tried, just remember you could always contact me on my socials or just leave a comment here. I'm always here to help you, empower you, inspire you to become a confident global English speaker, something that I'm helping my students with as well. Thank you so much again for your attention and can't wait to see you in another video. Fluency and that pain. Oh my god, through the it will help. Oh, that helped me. And fluently, confidently. What? Comfortably, confidently, and all about just what is it called? Rewind.